All right, I'm gonna give you some ideas how to master really hard chord shapes. What you need to do every day for like 5 minutes, it works. My teachers didn't show me this, but trust me, okay? Been doing this for a long time and it works. Now, fun story, see the shape right here? So what this is a C open chord shape, but up here it's out of the cage system, okay? And it's a D chord. It's a D major triad, right? Now, it's also the chord that Frusciante from the Chili Peppers, John Frusciante, uses in Under the Bridge. You know, and he does that little walk down to the F sharp bar, right? And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, how am I gonna master this first chord? So here's the first trick or tip for you. It's not even, it's just putting in the work. So take the shape off and land the shape, okay? Now, this is probably one of the most difficult shapes. You guys drop in the comments what's the most difficult shape you've ever played. But because you're trying to land like a little bar, you're trying to land a C open chord shape with your fourth, third, and second fingers, you know, your pinky, ring, and middle finger, that's difficult. So what I did is I took the picking hand out of it, and I just try and land that clean, okay? Because it's all muscle memory. And I'm gonna give you guys a few ideas. And look, I'm kind of shanking it here too. And then I'd go to that bar, the F sharp bar chord, and I'd go back, F sharp bar chord. Now, I'm not even playing the strings, am I? I'm just getting used to the changes, okay? Think of this as like when you're going to the gym and you're warming up before you like lift the weights or you hit the treadmill. You're just as like you're stretching, okay? And I'm gonna show you a couple of other great ideas. So you can sit on the couch and take any difficult chord shape and just do that, even if it's just one. So let me show you another example. So I started a whole Triads playlist. I'll link at the end, one at a time. I'm making beautiful charts. You gotta add those to your playing. But funnily enough, the very first shape is this crazy one right here. Because we start on the EAD string set, that's referring to the open strings, and this is CEG. But if you look at that shape, and tons of you guys have dropped comments, so that's why I'm making this. You've been asking, okay? So look, I've got to use my fourth, third, I've got to use my first finger, okay? Now you guys tell me too, isn't it true? Isn't it your ring finger is much weaker than your pinky finger? It seems to be the case. But, so you've got to have some work going on between your pinky, your ring finger, and your first finger, pointer finger. But these, you just got to land that shape. So this is what I did when I first started learning this triad. I'd go like this. This is a major triad, C major, all right? Now, if I stay on the same string set, another little piece we can add to that, we're not even worrying about the rhythm yet. That is always king. We'll get to that in just a minute. But I'm also gonna stay on the same strings, EAD, string set, EAD, but now I'm gonna play the A minor triad. So you see now this time I'm still got my pinky, now I've got my middle finger and my first finger, my pointer. So it's minor. So let's just do a little review. Here's the major triad, C major to A minor. It's the first and the sixth, by the way, if you wanna know the theory. Major and relative minor. So what I would do is before I can take my pick or my fingers and before I'm going, keep that rhythm going, okay? Before you can do that, take this hand out of it. Now, my teachers didn't show me this, but this would have helped me so much. So just sit on the couch when you're binge watching Netflix or whatever you're watching. Take the shape, okay? This is a shape. Burn this in your brain. This is a triad shape. And go to this one, say. So what you're doing is you're building a movement that you've never had happen before, okay? So listen, if your fingers don't have this muscle memory of this movement, are you gonna be able to cleanly nail that shape? Probably not. So again, here's the thing, build internal meter, rhythm, right? Before you even use a metronome, so so just kind of get a little groove, get the pocket going between the shapes. Then when you kind of feel comfortable, and you'll feel it, when it's like, just do these two triad shapes right here. Also arpeggiate them. Okay, here's one more crucial thing. This is on a deeper level, but it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or where you are, you're gonna get this. Now, a lot of times what people have trouble, let's just look at this shape right here, right? This part right here. So this is a triad, it's got two intervals stacked on top. So it's got this interval, the distance between these two notes, and then this one to this one. So you can almost separate them in a way when you're going into it. And these are the little micro movements that you don't really notice if you're not playing the guitar, you don't play. You know, so sometimes I'll kind of, as long as I keep the rhythm, I'm not landing the shape at the exact same time. It's not like going, oh, I landed on all 3 strings at the exact same moment. Sometimes these 2 guys, my ring and my pinky, are going in just ahead, and then I'm grabbing this one, okay, and I'm still landing the whole shape in time. So, don't get me wrong, you're eventually gonna get it where you can get it to land almost at the same time, but the most important part to smooth it out, even if you're not getting your chord changes super clean, is if you can kind of get your rhythmic flow really internalized and feel the pocket. Remember, the pocket, the groove, that's the rhythm. That's a tall, solid, tight rhythm. I can't talk today, sorry. To the minor triad, okay? So there's that one. So give that, and go watch my playlist at the end. Those are the, that's the very first triad I did, the major. We haven't gotten to the minor ones yet, but you saw the shape. Boom, 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 boom. Just take your rhythm hand, strumming hand out of it, okay? Now here's another thing you can do. This is super cool too. One thing you can do is you can take like a little chromatic picking exercise, and you're gonna say, well, how does that help me with chord changes? Because every movement you do between your fingers, whether it's a melodic run, a harmonic thing, a chord shape, it's gonna help you, right? So I go, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's great, do that, but make up some of your own. So real slow, one of the ones I do, and again, if your fingers haven't done different patterns or different combinations, they're not gonna be comfortable with those combinations that ultimately might be a movement or some kind of mini shape that adds strength to what you need to play a harder chord shape later on. You following me? Okay, so watch, I go like this, 1, 4. I'm just gonna call these 1, 2, 3, 4 now, okay? 1, 4, I'll start on the high E, 1, 4, okay? And you can pick anywhere you want, I'm just doing it on the 5th fret. 1, 4, and then I go on the B string, 2, 3, and then I go to the G string and I go 1, 4. So ba 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 ba, real slow, ba 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 ba, and then I go down to the B, and I go 1, 4, I kind of work my way up, 2, 3 on the D, 1, 4 on the D, excuse me, this was the G, the D. So you guys kind of get it. And then you can try and land that triad shape, or this one. So watch. Almost lost it there. But see, that's part of what real practice looks like. Okay, so just make up your own kind of picking things. Take a chromatic run, you know, but divide it up. Maybe you go 1, 2, and then 3, 4 on the B string. All these things, see, these little movements are gonna help you with chord shapes. So a lot of people don't think of picking exercises like out of scales or modes or whatever, just little chromatic runs. Changing that up will really help you. Skip strings, just helps you get yourself comfortable with different styles of movement. Okay, now here's one last one. You got to try this. I've done this a ton. Let's just take a C major bar chord, okay? And that's a shape right there. That's a hard shape. And then look, here's a whole nother shape, the thumb over, where I'm playing, look, I'm just taking away the root. I'm going thumb over, and I'm not even playing the root. It's muted. I'm just hitting these 5 strings from the A to the high E. So, okay, so get that shape. Or try this thumb over. Now that the movement is this, is getting this triad shape. This is why you guys gotta watch my triad playlist. I'll link it at the end. I'm making the charts. Once you have that, your playing's gonna take off faster than you've ever dreamed of. All right, so C, E, G, triad inside of the bar chord. Bar chord, triad. Bar chord, triad. I mean, look, that's a different shape. That's like a diagonal shape. See, look, bar chord, triad. Bar chord, triad. So take this out again. Bar chord, triad. I'm not even playing the strings. Now I'm taking my rhythm hand and I'm using, what if I go, and then when you start feeling comfortable, add it in. Just take your acoustic, take your electric to the couch, unplugged, okay? And just practice this stuff. Go into a little chromatic run. But all these things, okay? Until you can get the chord shape really locked down, don't even add your rhythm hand yet. But you can still work on your rhythm even without this, because you can beatbox it. Move it to a different, this is G now. G bar, G triad. G bar, G triad. And then look, here's the A minor triad. All I did is this shape to this shape. So maybe you just practice that. And this time we're on the DGB string set, okay? That's why I gotta watch that triad playlist. We're almost done here, okay? Diagonal shape to the bar, little tiny bar, and then the root. Boop, 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 doo, 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 doo. You just got, guitar's all about hitting everything from multiple angles over and over. Repetition leads to amazing rhythm. Okay, and as you add in different voicings, there's so many chord voicings, right? You've got major 7 chords, you got dominant 7 chords, minor 7 chords. You got these crazy triad shapes, okay? I did a lesson today with this triad shape, and then you've got the open chords, okay? One last thing, I know I keep talking, but watch. You can also do the open chord to a triad. So this shape to this shape, this shape to this shape. Look, and it's kind of cool. That is the C open chord, right? And look, out of that first crazy Cage System C open chord shape I showed you. Okay, but this diagonal open chord C major to this C major triad right here on this string set. Just practice this. You could also do the open G to the G triad. And again, this is why I want you guys to watch the triad playlist. Triads will help you more than anything, period. That's just my opinion. We can argue with each other till we're blue in the face, but I think you'll agree as you start to add them and see how you'll use them in every genre of music, okay? So that's it. So just practice, go slow, just take a couple. Just see if you can get this one today, this triad one, this triad shape, this 1, 3, 5, C, E, G to this A minor one, okay? You're getting a nice mix of using different fingers, okay? Really, you're kind of going between your second and third finger, your middle and pointer and ring finger, excuse me. So look, you're going to, excuse me, shank, see what happens? Da, 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 or just do do da 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 da. Okay, and if you can, just get this part. Maybe you just get just this little top part or the low end part of this triad. See if you can just get that shape first, okay, and then get this shape, because these are intervals you're going to use. Just trust me, these shapes, sometimes you're gonna be, some people will avoid them, I get it, but a lot of times these shapes are gonna help you figure out how to play other shapes. There's gonna come a time where you're gonna want these shapes, just trust me, so that's why I'm showing you, okay? So drop any comments, any questions, drop Jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments, how to come outside in the backyard, take the acoustic, do a little nuts and bolts lesson with you guys. Keep going, I'll see you in the next video, peace.